dice plays from Sprout over the course of this series so far. But regardless, we are into the pistol of the last map here on Inferno. We're going to have Sprout starting on the T side.
Well, Sprout, they unfortunately have allowed their opponents to grow into this series. Hopefully, they have not soiled their chances.
A bit of brackets control at the moment. A little bit of damage to come out as well. A double pit stack at the moment, but it's Marky finding a double of his own. Still the contest starting to happen around the Diggity Apartments area, but do they expect Fang to also be in the pit? The answer is no, as it is just going to be down to Riles trying to plant the bomb. Fang will find him in the end.
That is a very sharp round from the two pit players. The broken wall. Nobody suspects the second player at the broken wall.
Yeah, it's quite strong.
The Spanish Inquisition.
Well, I guess the job done for Extra Salt. An unexpected play. The bomb doesn't go down as well for Sprout. So in a bit of a scenario that we saw too many times for them over on Nuke, where they don't really have anything to work with. It's just going to be the pistols in this one again. But on the flip side for Extra Salt, I'm kind of interested to see what sort of tendencies we're going to see from them on the CT side. You know, a lot of this banana control with utility, and they're going to challenge at the top of mid. Potentially so.
Can they make it work for them? Smoke just pushes the T's back. They're all waiting on A ramp too. Or the T ramp, should I say. Spinning. He's just trying to create some noise in mid, second mid. Hoping to bait out some utility, get some information, but now, Pavin, what can he fashion with this Deagle? A bit of a shooting gallery right now. Floppy needs to be careful though. Oh, these Deagles are going to run over the top of him.
He's good for one. Trades on out, and that's an opportunity to try and bully their way down Banana. But in the meantime, OC going down mid. A little bit too big for his boots, unfortunately, as Kane will take him out. So the tides do start to simmer down. It's actually sway in Sprout's favour at the moment. 4 players alive. One over the side of Extra Salt. And Jim, there's only one player over at B.
So this push and pull from Sprout has left Extra Salt with a single player at B. They have now the smokes to come in, so there's a lot of work to be done here from Floppy. He's got that Famous. There's a clip dumped into the smoke by Fang, but is he going to get the reload in time? Oh, they're making it work.
Yeah, 1 through the smoke to come through from Fang, 2 from Floppy, and that's pretty much all they needed to do for this round. A challenge attempt through the smoke, but Floppy will find that one. So it'll be a little bit of a mid-round recovery from Extra Salt. Almost feels like they didn't even feel the weight of the pressure there.
Absolutely. I thought signs were very ominous for Floppy in the back corner of the A-bomb site with a Famous. The recoil on that can get away from you pretty quickly. You can be overwhelmed. The rate of fire isn't fantastic in those sort of scenarios. So things could have gone pear-shaped quite quickly. However, sprinkle in a bit of salt and a smoke kill, and you have yourself a good result here. Now Sprout come on to the AKs. Famous is retained by Extra Salt. They prioritising utility.
Yeah, a lot of these Molotovs thrown down from both sides at Banana. They do pretty much miss each other, but the HE grenade certainly does not. Trained on towards Faven as he elevates himself. Not going to be provided any opportunity. The counts of 2 smokes from the CTs over at Banana at the moment. A returned HE grenade. Certainly see that Sprout are wanting to take this full challenge. They're going to go for a bit of a boost, and it's not going to work out.
JT has the opportunity presented to him, and he obliges. So this banana control for Sprout comes at a price. They're a player down. Just showing some presence over towards brackets. You would suspect it's going to be back towards B, though, as that bomb is in a fairly accessible position, to be honest, between both these two sites. If they do manage to get an opener back here towards A, you're probably going to see them go back towards B.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? Extra Salt aren't giving them any opportunities to be able to find a frag at the moment. A smoke will blossom over towards the jungle side of brackets as well. So there's going to be no way in. Floppy manages to find slacks, and there's just no sense of really impact from Sprout in getting in towards any of these bomb sites at the moment. It's 25 seconds. They're locked in around A, and there's 3 players here for Extra Salt.
And Extra Salt are just happy to sit behind their own smokes, playing that double pit, such a strong position. And now OC's even smoked off into bomb site, so this this is going to be really difficult for Sprout. They're not even going to attempt it.
Yep. No, it's a wiser idea as well. You know, you keep 3 guns in toward next round. You certainly can go at it again. You can potentially drop out some utility or see what you can get on the back of Slacks and Faven. Even in that utility department, it's only Riles that can pick up anything because it's $150 for K and for Speedy there. So I do wonder, you know, what this is going to kind of look like for Sprout at the moment, Jim. That was their first investment. Doesn't go their way. Drop a timeout now here as well.
I mean, they didn't really give themselves too much time to work with. They had, what, 12 seconds left, and they made that call to save. And no doubt discussing what they're going to try and do with this money situation. I mean, they haven't purchased on Slacks or Faven just yet, so I would suspect they are maybe prioritizing utility. Interesting.
Yeah, Riles is giving over the AK to Faven. Slacks is just going to be with the Deeg as well. The full util set for a couple of them. We'll see what they're going to be able to work with. There's only one Molotov, so this utility presence for Sprout doesn't really give them any opportunities to push Extra Salt out and play the util game in this one. They have to sacrifice their body, potentially get a little bit of the chip damage. That's not the way you want to see it start off with, however, from those HG grenades. So already, Sprout were already on a lesser buy. Now they're on lesser health.
Yeah, Extra Salt too. Just reverting back to what we've seen earlier, they sent Ozzy over towards the B-bomb site. Banana early on. Faven finds the opening into JT, so now they're going to have to do this one on the back foot. And well, Floppy's able to find a second. Needs to be careful not to overstay his welcome. No, he gets away with that. And now there's a player advantage for Extra Salt.
Yeah, Floppy hanging out dirty laundry in that one. A couple of clotheslines for sure being occupied. Real life for Sprout as K silently starts to slither in through Dig. Going to be able to find anything. I mean, reposition from Marky. Going to be spotting it out. It's actually Fang hiding on the side as well. So an attempt from K completely nullified. Seconds for Slacks and Speedy. See if they can get anything back.
OC's going to have the arch covered. Fairly relaxed position from him. He finds the timing onto Slacks. Is he going to find the second? He knows the position. Oh, Speedy. Speedy into Speedway.
Oh, deep smoke though. He has to try and get through this one. A little lobbed underarm flashbang. He doesn't immediately go with it. It's going to give an opportunity for the Extra Salt members on that A site to start to get a rotation over as well. And unfortunately for Speedy, Bobby's just hiding in a position that you probably don't expect in a situation like that. So it's 4 clean rounds for Extra Salt. And maybe even a 5th, as Sprout still don't have enough cash to throw in this round.
Yeah, I thought maybe he'd just seen Floppy. Timing didn't work out for him, so back to the drawing board. We see the Tech 9s coming out. Prioritization of utility, so I would suspect that this isn't going to be something super fast.
Well, you know, I would kind of like to see that. You know, a little bit less utility potentially, and a bit of a banana crawl after the util fades out. You know, it's something that I always like to see, and potentially catch Extra Salt off guard. You know, we saw on Nuke a couple of, and even on the first map in Ancient, a couple of rushes attempts from Sprout, and it completely caught Extra Salt off guard. So it is one of those tendencies, you know, that you would expect Sprout to be finding, but nonetheless, the choice here from the T's has been to get this utility and progressively approach.
They do still have smokes and flashes to work with. So, nice one onto Marky. He's just been airstrike out of his position.
Oh, it's happened again.
See, he's done it, but he's been traded. So it's actually numbers advantage towards Sprout. Floppy's going to arrive. However, he's not going to be able to curb anything. JT is right there, so they're going to have to fight Sprout if they want to win this round.
Yeah, well, Slacks has that AWP in possession right now, but Floppy does creep behind the smoke. As it fades away, it catches Faven off guard. And now this 1 versus 2, a little bit of shots out. Slacks will close the deal, seal the deal. And the little eco, half buy rather, to come through from Sprout gets the job done. Jim, what is it with AWP no scopes today?
Oh, I don't know, but give me more.
It's entertaining, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, Sprout on the back of that have put themselves into a far better position. I mean, the rebuy coming through from Extra Salt too.
They were going to have a buy regardless into this round.
But it's a reset.
Yeah, and you get a number on your scoreboard as well. It's brilliant. But yeah, that reset is certainly something that Extra Salt won't be happy with. You know, 4 clean rounds essentially, and you lose one, then you're on the edge of a reset. They're on the cusp of it right now. OC challenging Apartments. Very forward line, being sniffed out and snuffing out Speedy.
Yeah. Easy as you like. Very difficult to challenge OC in those sort of positions as well. The flash is good. And, oh, the player out of Boiler, Marky. Slacks is there for the trade, but the damage is done.
Yeah. And the rotation's starting to come from Extra Salt as well. Floppy pushing down Banana, so pretty much locking in the 2 Ps alive. Make it 1 now in toward the A side. And it's Slacks with an AWP. Alrighty. A 1 versus 4 to see what he can do. The opportunity... it won't be given, I would say. I'll go on a stretch and say they won't be giving him this one.
And Fang. At first it was the wide swing, and then it was the open air positioning for that final. Sprout, they've done all the hard work. They got themselves into the position here, however.
I gotta say, Marky's MP9 control at distance today, it's been pretty magical.
It's been on the mark.
It's got to be one of those things that, how often do you use this gun to exactly know that?
Well, I mean, how often are Extra Salt on Eco?
That is the real question. Now we're asking the hard truths.
Mac 10 coming up for Favorite. Fire coming out from Extra Salt. This is going to catch Extra Salt off guard. A Sprout. Well, they have been stopped in the track somewhat. The second wave of utility is not there. And they do have numbers. They have been putting that third player towards B early on, Extra Salt, and it's paid dividends.
Yeah, all this damage early. Smokes, flash, a molly. A little bit of a boost attempt to come on through to see what they can clear out as well. It's going to be K in front of the smoke, however. It's a little bit of the silence game as the CT smoke does fade away. The Reblossom will come on through, and the wide play from Fang isn't going to be working out. Floppy bites the dust, and that's the opening that Sprout desperately needed on towards the B side.
OC just going to slip past that Molotov. Always a danger.
Oh, they nearly line up for him, but K will pull the trigger a little bit earlier than the rest of them can, and Sprout will double down. Jim, that's a reset to the economy of Extra Salt right now, and an opportunity again for Sprout to see what they can do, but after winning a round, they opt for a timeout.
We've seen them do this a few times, actually.
Yeah.
And I think it's just to try and stabilize. They don't want to, at any stage, I would suspect, lull themselves into a false sense of security. And I dare say, as you gestured, lose focus.
Yeah, well, focus is one of the things. You know, you want to come out with your opening series and a win here in the conference. Actually does lose my memory on who these guys would be playing if they do catch a win. I'll be keen to see that one. I'll bring that one up.
16-team double elimination bracket.
Might be our boys in Renegades or Renewal. So that should be pretty cool as well.
Okay. Makes things interesting for the next round. But for the moment, these two are locked in battle. And Extra Salt, as we said, they've copped that reset.
Well, we call it a reset, but we know what the USB can do in OC's hands, so be keen-eyed to see if he's going to be able to do something again. A little bit of an apartment stack is being completely undone. Okay, and Speedy finding that one. Now it's just down to Floppy for any damage that can be found, really.
Yeah, not a lot before him. He's going to have difficulty just making that work. So for Extra Salt, nothing in that round on offer. But more importantly, they get themselves back into a position where they can buy into this. So
yeah,
they did have potential there to maybe, just maybe, catch all of those Ts off guard. However, it's just good spacing from the T side there. Sprout never allowing individuals to be drawn into crossfires like that.
Well, the AWPs are going to be here for both sides, as well as a bit of utility to work with. I'm seeing no kits on the side of Extra Salt, unfortunately. So you make sure that that bomb objective don't go down on toward the floor. I think OC has just caught the tail end glimpse on towards Faven, who really is charging through this utility. back up on towards the car position, and you will be making a little bit of noise here. But meanwhile, on the other side of the map, the team's already pushed through brackets, so that's some great control already. A deep smoke down towards the library, and a progressive smoke on toward the hay bales. They're going for this A-site control and hit very early.
This is so fast coming out of Sprout. However, the Extra Salt boys are making this work in their favour. They're just sitting behind those smokes. They've still got a lot to contend with, and Sprout have not been able to dismantle any of this A-site defence.
Yeah, now things do start to simmer down as well. The teams are quite spread out at the moment. K trying to see if he can pull something into existence for Sprout. That's not going to happen. Meanwhile, Flax loses his life, and it's all on to Faven, who was already good for one. Would need the ace here. Pulls out utility. It's getting a little bit dire for him. He walks straight into the crosshairs of OC, and it's a round back for Extra Salt.
They are looking far better, Extra Salt. And, well, their money has recovered a little bit too. That is definitely going to help them. Make them more sprightly these next few rounds. But for Sprout, their money's starting to just really tick over. They've got that loss bonus going. They haven't really been able to get into these bomb sites. So,
yeah, if this one doesn't go their way, they should still be provided a purchase. They could even try and stretch it out to getting an AWP if they wanted to, but you know, the utility mark is certainly something that they want to make sure they're having. The grenades will be tickling them once more, as OC does manage to steal away the frag from Fang.
Slacks has been completely outclassed in terms of utility in this T site. He's run into a grenade, I feel like, every round. He's tried to take mid-pick control, he's copped a grenade. He just tried to take the line then with that AWP up mid, he's copped a grenade.
That's one of the risks, right, in Inferno as well. If you know that your opponents on that CT side do have a couple of HE grenades, they're going to be throwing them down banana. They're going to be going for that utility control as well. So you have to always have that in the back of your mind that if they do throw that, what do you do after? Do you dodge it early and give up that space, that control early on, or do you try and contest it? And the contest is what Slacks is wanting here.
Yeah, every time he's trying to get in front of that utility and hopefully try and catch somebody out. He hasn't been able to do it just yet. They played that based on spawn as well. They've been just putting that utility down mid, and it has really just put Sprout on the back foot. He's a big impact player for them, and he hasn't been able to just forge those openings into the rounds
100%.
That we were seeing on the earlier maps.
100%. Now with 30 seconds to go, everything does rest on this B site play with the smokes that they do have in a single flash. A couple of mollies as well, so one of them can force JT out into a little bit of an awkward position. These mollies will go over toward his location, so as they do start to spread, he would need some assistance in the matter. Fang to be the one to push out, but as JT loses his life, Fang doesn't have the position to be able to go in for a challenge gym. The bomb might actually go down, and we'll go into a retake scenario.
Safe plant too, away from that spam potential. And the CTs are about to arrive in spawn too, so they do have utility to work with.
Oh, what a shot to come through from OC, and he even doubles down on towards Speedy. Now it's Riles with 13 points of HP in a 1 versus 2. If he steps out, it'll be in Fang's crosshairs as well. So the double down right now to come through from Extra Salt, a great piece of utility over towards Dark as well. And now they can just hunt for where Riles is. They both have kids. He's playing the corners very well. That is for certain. He might have just won the round on the back of that single peak. OC needs to go in for the challenge. And you think that Extra Salt have this set in stone. It does not happen.
That is a great round. And they do not escape with anything whatsoever. Out of nothing. Riles has played that to perfection, and both these two teams are suffering economic woes right now. A little bit less so, though, if you're Sprout. You've got one player who has already bought. So this is a round for Extra Salt. Do they buy into this? They're going to be double eco potentially anyway. They put their opponents on the back foot. Answer's been made. MP9s, Deagles, and a Famus are going to try and put Sprout on the back foot. However, they're not going to have the utility put that early damage on to Slacks as they have in previous instances. In fact, Sprout have made that adjustment. They're not sending him in early.
Well, that's a signifying statement as well, isn't it? You don't see that utility. You know they're doing something different.
Yeah.
You know, you can take that full control of banana, of mid if you want to. You have to just be mindful of a potential stack. As soon as you see no utility, a potential stack is very plausible, and that's happening over towards the A site at the moment. Over on the other side of the map, it's Floppy. By himself, he's managed to open up onto a frag. JT finds Speedy, and you flip things upside down right now in what is happening. Floppy even manages to find K.
What is happening? What is happening? These MP9s have just taken duels. They've got up in the face, up in the grill of Sprout, and they've suddenly found themselves in a 4 versus 2.
And it's not even Marky with the MP9 at the moment.
No.
It's Floppy. It's JT. It's the other boys getting the job done right now. The bomb plant goes down, and Faven and Slacks have to do something proactive before they get overwhelmed. There isn't any kits for Extra Salt, so they've got time against them as well. Faven's lined up 2 of them from the tree. Now he's the last one alive. The flash goes high as well. It catches the first, and he finds the remaining kill on the back of it. So we take a breath. We take a deep breath, and we take a sigh of relief on the end of that as Extra Salt don't win that round.
You've got to be ropeable if you're Extra Salt. They had a player who was watching that smoke push for what seemed like an eternity. And the moment that it stopped being watched is when Faven slips the net and somehow pulls that round out of the fire for Sprout. So the investment from Extra Salt in that last round means that they are just in that hard reset territory.
Yeah, just the pistols hit, see what they can do. The Deagle of JT, 5-7 of Fang, and a Zeus of OC. A little bit of electricity up in here as well.
The beard of Zeus. Deagle's not doing anything. I mean, OC, if he can get something here, fantastic.
As long as it's not the map 10 on the other side of the map, you get an AK, then you'd be pretty happy.
Oh, I mean, you get the Mac 10, you get a kill with it.
Yeah,
bonus one.
True. Then still do.
Move on to bigger, better things.
Unfortunately, right now, it's bigger and better for Sprout as they get the plant down. 5 versus 2 scenario. Looking to tie things up 6 apiece, and really getting the vibes of the last map that we're seeing on Nuke as well. You know, very similar close score lines, getting a little bit to-y and fro-y.
That was pretty cool. They swapped out at the last moment there. Slacks gave up his AK, picked up the Mac 10, and just pushed all the way through Con. Picking up those kill bonuses. He had the better HP.
Gets him onto the AWP.
And that gets him onto the AWP. So, 200 IQ.
Well, he's got the spawn as well at the moment to go for a potential banana challenge if he wants to. But Extra Salt haven't really given the full challenge over toward the car. He's going to go over towards mid. Not seeing the utility at the moment as well. So whilst Extra Salt do have a little bit of this utility to work, the key moment there is utility, the key word. Not utility. Small, little. 1 HE grenade. It's just been used. Got some damage out, but now it's only that assistive variety.
Uh-oh. Marky needs to be careful. Port's there, though. But you're right. Normally, Slacks would be copping a grenade to the noggin. Flash into Banana. They've taken control, and that is good cover from OC.
That's also a spot down Banana, knowing that no one is home anymore. You see a little bit of this util from Sprout over at the A site, and you kind of put all your eggs in this one basket. The Sprout are around this A site. You've got to try and come in and assist your team, who's only got 2 players there specifically. It gives that opportunity towards Sprout to potentially open up the site. A well-aligned flash could actually catch Fang off guard. He is elevated, but Marky is there to assist, to double down, and now Speedy is going to be good for 1. But is it 1 and done? No.
Could get interesting just yet. He's got to recover the bomb, so that is his first task. He will get that bomb down, so that's money stimulated now for Sprout. However, he's got 3 CTs to contend with.
Oh, straight into the line of OC's AWP as well. I thought he saw him on that small little shoulder out, but it doesn't come into play. Sprout won't be taking the lead here, Jim. For the current time, it's going to be Extra Salt to still hold on to that state. And, yeah, recovering a couple of AKs to take over into the next round as well. A couple of kits would be well worth their while just to make sure they've got the retake opportunities. But it's not like they're out of the neck of the, they're out of the woods just yet. Still in the thick of it because Sprout have another purchase.
Yeah, and it was just great work from Extra Salt here. They took control of Banana. They cleared that out. They had the info. They went straight back towards this A-bomb site. They managed to catch Sprout in that awkward sort of jungle phase of taking the A-bomb site. Marky has just been playing pit to perfection. He has been really hard to remove. He hasn't necessarily put up huge numbers, but he's been a real thorn in the side of Sprout.
And now we move back to, I guess, a commonality when it comes to Inferno is that you tilt down banana. Actually, this time Sprout got in front of it. So they do manage to dodge the HE grenades, thankfully, I guess, from what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
But it's the flashbang play again to come in for Floppy. A third on the frag department. Just makes it look so damn easy. And now for Slacks and Speedy. Can they bring something back here?
I mean, they've got to try and find someone. There's nobody facing here at brackets, so Extra Salt are happy to let that control just go towards Sprout. That is perfect team play in banana. That allows them to work that. Floppy just had the perfect flash. He had time to adjust his aim quite nicely as well. So, I mean, are Sprout going to save? They've made that call.
Yeah.
There's a minute left to play with. Does this become a mini-tac timeout for them?
Potentially. Becomes one of those phases where it's, you know, how you doing, Jim?
Yeah.
No, I gotta say, that's twice now. Extra Salt have had that work, right? The flash in for Floppy as he's able to find a couple of frags. So Sprout definitely do need to make sure that moving into this last round of the first half here, that they are careful of that it doesn't actually manage to happen. Again, I'm looking towards the economy that they do have moving in toward the next round, and it's not the greatest, I gotta say. You know, an AWP and an AK, you back it up with what you can on your 3 fallen comrades. You attempt to send them in first. You use them as the more assistive information variety. It's going to be interesting to see what the decision of Sprout is, but for what it's worth, you know, Extra Salt will be leading at the half no matter what.
They made that call to save very early on, so wonder what they're going to come up here with the last round of the half in play. I mean, yeah, they've got 6 rounds. It's not a terrible half for them. But I don't know, I really feel as though Extra Salt have been able to just swing the momentum. That pendulum swung back in their favour. And, I mean, they're looking good for that 9-6 scoreline.
Yeah, the Deagles, Tech 9 as well for Riles there. So it definitely does put a lot more weight onto this save that Slacks and Speedy did do. Yeah, AK is already taken out very early on as well, so at least recovered. And they didn't have another attempt at doing something in the round, but just the utility that Extra Salt have already put down, just not going to allow Sprout to move forward past the A site. There's actually 4 players here from Extra Salt as well, so a very big reliance upon Floppy's just self opportunities around the B site.
He's got 1 flash to defend this B bomb site with. Good luck.
Yeah, and there
and
it
that's
goes.
It.
Well, at least Sprout don't know that.
No, that's true. Marky's going to arrive, maybe in time. Going to be of the essence timing.
Yeah, well, the bus starts to come through for Sprout, and Slacks manages to find that first frag as well. So we almost shift immediately into a retake to come through from Extra Salt. They do have a lot of utility that they can actually work with as well. Slacks manages to find Marky through the smoke. It was a silenced M4 as well, so no traces to come through from that one. So pinpointing on the sounds potentially, but regardless, plants here, Jim. It's retake time.
Retake time. They have the utility to work with. They have the kits as well. So this is a new scenario for them. They have kits.
Yeah, they got kits, they got utility, but they've got a player disadvantage to come through. And they really need to make sure that they are maximizing this util and this time. Slacks gets in front of the smoke that does come down throughout Banana. K manages to obliterate 2 of them. And now it is only down to OC with the AWP. Quick scope to come on through. But that's all it is. It is 8-7 in favor of Extra Salt still in this one. It's close. We absolutely love it. But again, we will look to throw it over to a break. We'll see you guys all around the corner.
We're into the second half of the third match here in this Extra Salt versus Sprout matchup. This is the upper bracket of this 16-team double elimination here at the ESL Pro League Season 15 Conference. And it is a slight 8-7 lead to Extra Salt as they now switch sides. As Spitty is just upping the ante with this aggression down mid. Look at this from Sprout.
Yeah, they got a couple of players to lead the charge with the bomb as well, but now the carnage starts to escalate as well. OC catching a couple of kills. It's every which way at the moment, but it does lead into Sprout's favor. In the end, JT does manage to try and find the bomb, actually. The HE grenade is not dodgeable, unfortunately. He knows where both of the CTs are. He's opting to take the challenge against Faven. But it's not going to go his way, as Faven will find that one.
3 players left, and 30 seconds into the round.
Yeah, that was quick.
That is a very speedy pistol round.
Yeah, you're not wrong, that's for sure. Tied it up, though, and with no plant, Extra Salt are choosing to force on in, so they're going to give themselves the benefit of the doubt. They're going to go in for the challenge because they feel like they can at the moment. Why wouldn't you? You back yourselves with confidence and you can certainly go a long way. Sprout got the MP9s, the FAMAS, and the M4 Silence variant on Faven. A lot of utility down Banana, nice and early.
Whoa.
Yep.
There we go, the flying MP9 from K. Finds JT. But there's nobody around from Extra Salt to find that trade either, so he reflashes himself in. He does fall, and now Riles needs to be careful. He is overwhelmed. They have given up control of this B-bomb side.
And the CT smoke as well, just to block the vision, but Faven does have that silenced M4 to be able to shoot through. Empties a clip. Everyone on Extra Salt does manage to dodge that one. Plant starts to go down and will shift over into a retake to come through from Sprout. They're already here to go in. They don't have the kits. They got a little bit of utility that they can throw around to play as well.
Smoke down to the first oranges. Just has a line onto Banana. However, Floppy is standing strong. They have not removed him from his position. In fact, he's going to go on to find a second. This is disastrous for Sprout, and now it's all on Slacks.
Oh. Yep, and it's always risky tapping the bomb in that situation as well. It just brings in Extra Salt in that scenario, trained on toward your location as well. You'll always understand the idea. You have to go for that little bait attempt, especially when you don't have a kit. But the rounds, you know, it kind of catches Sprout off guard.
Absolutely does. You saw the temptation was so real with those MP9s to try and maximize that money. They had the temptation to make that bank, but in the end, they surrender control of Banana quite cheaply. And unfortunately for them, they were not able to retake at all Sprout. So now onto the pistols. They've got Slacks on that scout. He's been menacing for them. However, probably hasn't had the impact he wanted. Inferno's not necessarily one of those maps too where Orpa can get themselves into these positions on the T side, which is why he's had a quiet first half. However, Fang has just committed daylight robbery and got away with it.
Oh, the HE grenades again. They were thrown at the start of the round. Riles and K did find a little bit of damage to the bodies because of that, but it is a slower pace one from Extra Salt. Just making sure they're clearing all the corners, not to be caught off guard. Sneaky plays afoot from Sprout. Start have a rotate from Speedy as well. That'll be put to good use, but maybe a little bit too late as Faven gets overwhelmed. Slacks will get a shot at from the scout. It does not work out, and Extra Salt will be looking to close things in this round.
Mac 10's used to perfection. Created the space, created the opening, got the frags. Now,
well, we get a reset.
We get a reset, but Speedy and K, that's... I mean, they're only looking to save their weapons. They don't want to go down to the Mac 10s if they can avoid it.
And Speedy doesn't even have any armor behind himself either, whilst K does have at least the Kevlar and the helmet to be able to try and play with. So it's just going to be that Deagle. As you say, it's the reset to come through from Sprout. Both players now known as well, so the Hunter's certainly going to be on. Speedy finds one onto JT. I don't think he's going to be able to recover the gun whatsoever, so that's a little bit unfortunate.
Mac 10s. 5-7. Good for it. Extra Salt inched themselves ahead, 10-8. And of course, they'll be looking to progress on in the upper bracket if they are able to do so. They'll be taking on the winner of Renegades and Renewal, which is, of course, for us Aussies, one of our teams to watch in this conference.
Yeah, of course, the other one's going to be playing in the time slot after this matchup.
Yeah, yeah. Order versus Anonymo. Another strong Polish squad too.
Yeah. Certainly so. How does Pistols again for Sprout at the moment, Jim? Nothing too untoward. Yeah, we'll see the guns come out properly for them good enough, and we'll see if they're going to be able to get a foothold on this CT side.
Not choosing to push down Banana. And leave Slacks to watch things over. Okay. They're going to put all their eggs into this A basket. That might actually be the play for Sprout. Extra salt. They're going to try and utilize as much of their weaponry as possible. I like this. They're not going to get caught with their utility out.
It's a full stack from Sprout, though. It gives me a little bit of a worrying feeling right now for Extra Salt. Do they have the utility to try and clear this out? Yeah, they absolutely do. But with 5 players around, you have to clear so many corners right now. It's just going to get chaotic.
It's going to work for them as well.
Maybe. If all 10 players are around this A-bomb site right now.
The tension so thick that you could carve it right now with a knife as spitting. Out in that balcony, that flash is awful as for Floppy and Marky. Steady the ship somewhat. OC is also good for it. And all 10 players converge in the A-bomb site with Sprout being demolished.
Yeah, and only JT Lizzie is left for Extra Salt as well, so I think you call that a pretty good pass mark for Extra Salt. Yep. You know, Sprout definitely could have found a couple of cheeky crossfire kills there at the end, but the fact that they don't manage to just gives a little more credit over towards Extra Salt. But we need to see it done in gun rounds. We need to see them convert them here, because finally we do get the big one from Sprout. The AWP is going to be here for Slacks. It is Glass Cannon, mind you. Yeah. The new people towards Counter-Strike, if you're watching this one. That means you've gone into an AWP without any armor behind yourself. You are very vulnerable if you do miss a shot.
Particularly on a map like Inferno. Just limits the way he can play. He can't take some of those early aggressive picks. Ooh, certainly not if Fang is going to do like that.
Another opening frag going the way of Extra Salt. It's favour to find Marky, though, whilst blind off in the distance. That does equalise us up 4-4. But it is the overwhelming force from Extra Salt in Banana that is going straight in towards the B site at the moment. It's K and it is Slacks to see what defenses they can deliver. Slacks through the smoke, however, flashes himself through, but he misses a shot. Very uncharacteristic from Slacks, I might add. But now's the player advantage for Extra Salt as the bomb goes down.
That's so risky. That's an unnecessary risk. I don't know what he was trying to achieve either. Could have just stayed alive and waited for his teammates to arrive, but obviously he sniffed something that we didn't. OC catches Faven trying to get through the smoke, and now it leaves Spitty with a Famous in a 1 versus 2, 19 HP. Clock is ticking.
He had more HP than 19 as well, but the spray from OC just there, a couple of loose bullets actually managed to tickle Speedy, and OC indeed will finish it off in the end. So the AWP stolen, and it'll go into the hands of OC once more, and Extra Salt starting to find a little bit of this T-side pudding.
That they are starting to build that economy too. You can just see that nice, strong trajectory.
A nice curve there.
Yeah. It's on the upward. Whereas Sprout, they are just starting to experience those woes. However, for them, stakes are high because Extra Salt are 3 rounds away from match point and a 4th away from taking the series.
Banana crawl at the moment from Sprout. They can do, again, finding themselves in a situation that they also known, unfortunately, a little bit too much in this one, the Pistols. But Raz manages to catch OC. They say goodbye toward his teammate. So again, you know, still keeping some damage relatively in the play. Some even more damage now around the site. But Floppy does manage to contain the AK quite well. Now it's just going to be down to Riles. 1 versus 2. This is workable.
It's workable. He does have the deagle. So, I mean, there's one-shot potential, right? this pistol. Needs to find an opening. It's going to be very difficult to split the pair. Oh, okay. We're on.
We're certainly on an opportunity given by JT as well. Risky to push out wide into the open there, but nevertheless does get the job done. Now Sprout will have a purchase. This is something that I have not seen on Inferno in a very long time. A double AWP setup on the CT side.
Could be beneficial. Certainly if you can leave one of your players with that AWP towards Banana. There's a moment of confusion though. They were like, are we taking both AWPs over towards B? Like, how's this going to work?
Yeah, one shot misses, next one goes. It kind of reminds you of, Dust 2 firing range.
Oh yeah, airstrike coming through from Extra Salt. Does not find its mark.
Good fashion. Bomb left in spawn. And I'll have to navigate around to get that one a little bit later on. But all this utility starting to progress up through towards the top of B. This is that flash to come through from Rals. It's not Floppy to capitalize on anything this time, however. That Slack's good for only a trade after Faven was taken.
And they're going to head back towards A. They do have that bracket control. Okay. He's got that second AWP.
Oh, the timing. A little bit unfortunate there for Marky. Just as the smoke does blossom into existence, he's seen for it.
Little check of diggity. Speedy. He's not going to have the info just yet. Floppy finds that at the right moment. He has sprung to life, and that is going to be this A-bomb site wide open. Extra Salt. You would suspect.
Yeah, you kind of expect them to win it out from here, right? Sprout for the save. It's a little bit of a marathon to run from the B side to the A side. In a player disadvantage, mind you. Slacks will have that AWP. You'd have to kind of toss that away to go in for the proper retake right now. So it's the longevity game. It's the longevity save for Sprout right now.
Yeah, you would suspect they were going to save, and that was always going to be the case. They didn't even have a player in transition. Both those players were hard locked onto that B bomb site. So I'm not surprised to see that Extra Salt are going to exit through spawn. Maybe see if they can find a kill or two, but nothing's going to be on offer. They inch themselves towards that match point, and of course towards the series point, which will see them progress in this upper bracket.
Yeah, we're backing up the AWP and the M4, or the AK, sorry, is going to be the M4s on the side of Sprout right now. They have chosen to go in with the purchase to keep Extra Salt from finding that series point now that it does turn into being the third map here as well. So your Extra Salt, you've got that momentum of a couple of rounds under your belt. You've got the information of Sprout's tendencies at the moment. You've really managed to solidify this banana control time and time again. So don't see any reason why Extra Salt wouldn't be looking to put the pressure down on this area as well. The damage to come on through. Riles down to 8 HP, a situation where maybe he's asking for the AWP right now to have Bogdan's Law in effect.
I don't know if you deserve it at that point, though. However, stage is set for this A-bomb site hit. Smoke's come through. Utility is going to be layered quite nicely here. As Floppy, again, just good for that entry out the carpet. Slacks has got to find some marks. He's not able to hit them, and now he's in trouble. They surrender A-bomb site, and that is going to be match point, unless Key can pull one of the all-time great 5v1s.
That was, as you mentioned, great layering of utility to come out from Extra Salt there. The smoke grenades coupled with the flashes delayed a little bit late as well. I did notice a gap in the time from when they were actually out on the site to killing their opponents. Everyone was blind, essentially, in that mark. Also saw a team flash actually come out there. Unfortunately, got the better of Slacks in the end. So yeah, you're catching that one up on yourselves and your team later. Pull them up. But regardless, that is the series point coming over towards Extra Salt right now. And I look at the economy of the CTs in Sprout. It's not the greatest.
No, it's going to be a hard road home for them. That's for sure. And that's just to take it into OT. So it's going to require 7 in a row. Their backs are against the wall. And they don't have fantastic utility either. And I'm looking across, I see one kit.
Yeah, one kid on Speedy. They've got a couple of flames that they've already utilised. HE grenades as well. OC going to try and tickle his fancy for getting in front of the facility. It's actually going to be Marquee and OC to open up the A site. Fang finds Key in Banana, and now it is on to Riles in a 1 versus 5. I don't know if he can do it.
I don't feel as though he can. The change in tempo from Extra Salt was on point. Sprout have not faced a tempo like that in this half, so they were not expecting it. JT rounds that out, and that is a strong performance in the third map of this series from